Lots of tasty things in this. Very nice. The couple things that I'm going to be saying are kind of nitpicky, but there's so much good stuff. So let's talk about that. I thought this was inspired. The throwing that at the end was really an inspired move. Something didn't move over, and I'm sure that's as cool. And I can grab the tracks here in a little bit to figure that. I think there's a rap vocal. For some reason, it didn't. When I just have your session, even though it's part of the main track. So yeah, that was really cool. The slicing up the toms, you did a good job with that. And then let the cymbal kind of go in. We got some fades there. You've got the drums all sent, bus 1 and 2 output through, and the bass going into these two compressors. Now, if it makes your life easier, you can move these over here. So, especially these kind of subgroups like this, because you're going to be referencing them quite a bit. And this is making me nauseous. There we go. And you got those in solo safe mode, which is great. So keeping those over here. And you could either do a color, change the color a little bit to make that work for you, or just leave them where they are. I don't know why mine is doing that. If you wanted to make them some sort of different color, you could by color. There we go. If you wanted to, and make all these the same color. If you needed to, up to you. So, you can back that down. It doesn't have to be that bright. So, something like that might be. To let you know that those are all go together, even though these aren't the same color. So, how about we do that? So. There we go. If you wanted to. Okay, so let's take a look at the drums here. So we got. How about we get to where some music is? So this is probably the weakest part of the whole sound, and it works in context, but by itself, it sounds really. And there is this. I don't think that's necessary. Now, let's talk about order here. So, of all this stuff, the gate, high-pass filter, if you're going to do it, should go first, but let's just turn that one off. So this should go first, right? So let's take the wide dynamic range, which is going to give us the widest dynamic range, right? And the kick's going to be the loudest, and all that other stuff's going to be the quietest. That's where the gate can work most efficiently. For a kick drum, let's get the. And let's get, it just wants to trigger just a little bit. Now we can use this range to back that down quite a bit. We don't need super amounts. There we go. Then we got this. So I like this cut here. That's probably a good frequency. And way down here, we don't need that, right? That's good. And then we got this compressor. And you can hear that's bringing up some of the bleed too, so being careful with that. Back this up. There we go. So now we got some of the attacks, or just the initial attacks are going through. Much better kick drum sound. Make sure that that's not peaking. And it is, so I'm going to back this gain down a little bit, and then I'll use the fader to. Now I can option click on these, which will turn all those off. There we go. That takes care of that. So we've got the guitars panned, acoustic. We got the solo. Did something with that. The other thing, this piano is not really touched at all, and that's probably the only other spot that where the dynamics really get out of hand. So if you wanted to sort of go with what you've already done, which is you could bus these to a stereo, and let's make a stereo aux group. And did I make it? Oh no, I just jumped over here. I hate that. I can't figure out. There's some kind of glitch. Now I can put a stereo EQ, stereo compressor, and then let's go where that piano is. Here it is. Now we have, because you have these pan left and right, and there's like, this one's a little bit louder, and then this one's a little bit louder, and you can see in that dynamic range here. I mean, sort of this can take all that and sort of render it a little more even. Now, if you want to make sure you keep it at the same volume, what you can do is this. Notice that volume is right where it sounds the same. So this one got turned down just a little bit. We can turn it, but we can recognize when we do that, we're going to be popping up, triggering the compressor a little bit more. And then maybe you got this, let's send in that same reverb for the vocals. Let's see what that sounds like. Now I'm going to send the stereo piano. Those are solo saved, so I'm good. That sounds nice. Let's hear that in context now. Sounds a little dark, so because of the compressor, maybe. So two ways I can handle it. I can add brightness or I can take away muddiness. So I'm going to take away muddiness. I'm hearing the reverb. I'm going to mute this reverb for a second. Why am I hearing it? Oh, I see. You already have me in the reverb. There we go. Goodness gracious. Okay. So we can... Now, these are the uncompressed signal going in the reverb, and this is the compressed reverb signal going in the reverb. So you can decide which... And that's going to do a little different things, right? The dynamics are going to be a little more extraneous in here, a little more controlled in here. All right, lots of good stuff. Otherwise, man, just keep it up. There's low-pass filters aren't as necessary. High-pass filters are really crucial. High ends in spades in analog and digital recording. It's the controlled low end that we need. So I'm not sure. That's not anything that I don't think any of these are necessary. I wouldn't limit the dynamic range on my vocal at all in the high end. Low end, by all means. I think that's really crucial. Things that also, you got this here. This would go in front of the compressor. Right, shave that low end off, and then the compressor's only working on what's left, so you won't be bringing any of that stuff up. The snare, not the bass, the acoustic, definitely. And again, I wouldn't limit necessarily the top end of that. That's not, to me, anything we need. The guitar definitely can get out of the way of the bass by doing a high-pass filter. And again, unwanted, unneeded low end. So I would add that and high pass here. Kind of get on someplace that's see, that's not doing anything to the signal, but it's getting rid of all that unwanted, unneeded low end that is down there. So that's the point of that. So if we bring up, let's bring this up. See all that? We don't need any of that. Look, we can clean all that up. So even though you can't hear it, it's there in your track. That's what we're doing. All right? Good job.